Hey everyone, so I'm basically going to talk about what happened in the hospital and straight after labour and delivery and trying to breastfeed. Um, so right after he was born, he was placed on my chest, and before he got here they had undone the buttons at the top of my shoulders, so basically I could pull down my top if I wanted to, so he could be actually straight on my chest. He got here and he was placed on my chest, and he sort of sat there for a while, and they rubbed him down and they did all their tests and everything that they need to do, and then they started cleaning me up. And at this stage I was just in awe and in shock that I had a son, and I really wasn't thinking about breastfeeding or anything like that at all. So after a while he sort of started, he was placed sort of face down, so I could see him, and they were moving him around a lot when they were wiping him down and stuff, but after a while he started whacking his head against my chest, and the only thing I can say that he was doing was looking for some food. So he was doing that, and I decided that, oh yeah, he must be hungry, duh. So I tried to latch him on, which really didn't go very well at all. I had no idea what I was doing. I was absolutely exhausted, and basically it just wasn't going too well at all. So the midwife come and latched him on, and he was a little terror because he would latch on and then he would kind of decide that no, he doesn't want this, and sort of pull away and then try and latch on again himself. Sorry, sweetheart. Try and latch on again himself, which really he couldn't do at all. And then he'd sort of scream a little bit because he was hungry. So that was a bit of an issue, and at this stage I was still in the labour and delivery room, and I think I was being stitched up and all this sort of thing at the same time. So there was a lot going on, but the midwife kept trying, and he sort of got it, and I think he only drank for like a couple of minutes, not even that, and then he kind of gave up and was just like, yeah, whatever, I'll do this later. So when we got to the actual hospital room, he was quite a lot better, and the midwife spent a little bit of time with me, just showing how to latch on and what to do in good positions and all that sort of thing. And she showed me the football hold and the cradle hold, and basically left us to it because it was about 1 a.m. by this time. So we kind of went to sleep, and he woke up a few times, but he really, in the beginning, he wasn't that hungry at all. He would rather just have hugs and know that I was there and around, rather than actually wanting to be breastfed. So the first day in hospital, I sort of spent most of the day in bed just trying to feed him and get used to him, really. It was really a different experience. And it all sort of went pretty well. He was constantly thirsty, and he had 2 nappies full of meconium, so that was pretty good, and they were all, happy with his progress and all this sort of thing. On our last night, because I stayed 2 nights, I think. Yeah, I could have stayed longer, but I just wanted to go home. So on the last night that I was there, he was so fussy between about, I tried to get him down at 6 to go to bed because I was exhausted still, and I was still up at about 11 trying to calm him down to get him to go to sleep. And he was just constantly hungry, and I didn't know what to do. So when he did get to sleep, I sort of woke up at about 1, and I was like, oh, maybe I should feed him again, and he just wouldn't wake up. He was so tired. So the midwife said to leave him and let him sleep, and so I did, and I woke up the next morning at 6 a.m. and he was pretty hungry, so I ended up feeding him there. Sweetie. And I just spent, so long feeding him, and this is when my nipples started to get a little bit sore, but they weren't that bad. They were still definitely, bearable, but it was getting harder to do. So I got home, and basically, that day just spent the whole day breastfeeding him. The hospital experience was really good. It was really good to have the midwives there. If I couldn't latch him on, they would come and help, and they'd always say, you know, if you want some help, let me know. If you want us to latch him on for you, let me know. And what they'd do is they'd come around, and if I was breastfeeding, they'd tell me, you know, what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong, and tips to make it easier and all this sort of thing. So that was really good, and he really wasn't getting much in the hospital just because he was so new and he wasn't really interested in feeding that much. But I did try and do it as often as possible, and you know, I just kind of let him dictate when he wanted to be fed. I was really disappointed in myself that I slept from like 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. and he hadn't been fed in that time, but he really didn't seem fussed at all. So I got told not to worry about it, so I didn't worry about it, and yeah, it was quite good. It was good, just a good bonding experience in the hospital. Yeah, latching on got to be a little bit tougher the more I did it, because he sort of knew what he wanted and he kept getting his hands in the way. Like, he still does that now. He just puts his hands in the way constantly. And he knows what he wants, but if you're not quick enough, he just is not impressed at all. So hospital was a pretty good experience all in all. I really liked the midwives. They were really, really helpful, and yeah, it was just a good experience in total.